you want to hear a fun fact?
Yeah.
It's coming up to 1,000 days without social media for us.
Really?
Yeah, so today marks
Well, no,
nine.
yours is a bit longer. Surely
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah.
so for me it's 951 days, but I don't
Wow.
think it's too far for you though. So
Yeah,
like you'll be hitting
potentially,
that
yeah.
1,000 soon as well, but
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, when you look at it
1,000
like that.
1,000 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously
Wow.
there's a lot of things that come in the way, and actually one thing that we spoke off camera
Mhm.
that actually a lot of people say to us is when we say like, oh, we don't use social media or have it. One of the things they ask is, what about FOMO?
Mm.
Like, do you not feel lonely, or do you not have a fear of missing out?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think sometimes maybe social media creates the illusion that you're keeping up to date with everyone's, or you're keeping up to date with everyone basically, not even everyone's life. Like, yes, you technically are like knowing, I don't know, when someone's birthday is or
Yeah.
someone's gone on a holiday and stuff like that. But when you really like delve deep into that, a lot of the people there, like, yes, you might be keeping up to date with their lives. Yes, you might write a comment or just maybe make a brief note or a brief message of happy birthday or, oh, you look so good in that photo, or, oh, I look like a good time. Hope you had a good time. But how like meaningful is that interaction really? Like, are you really kind of keeping up to date with that friend and so on? Like, to me, like a phone conversation or even just kind of texting someone
Yeah,
that you haven't seen in a while is a lot.
it goes a long way.
Yeah, it goes a long way, and that's how I suppose you don't miss out on stuff like that because you're talking more in depth with someone. Although, yeah, you're kind of up to date with someone's life, maybe through social media from whatever they put forward.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still find that I keep up to date with my friends like whenever I see them or whenever we call or something
yeah.
like that, and seeing what's going on, I
I
suppose,
think
in that
yeah.
sense.
Also for me actually, it's like when like I was properly on it, social media, and like
Mm.
constantly wanted to see more and more and scroll more and more.
Yeah.
I wanted to basically do things that other people were doing subconsciously, because I feel like if I wasn't doing those things,
Mm.
then my life it wasn't necessarily fun
Yeah,
or
so true.
meaningful, you know?
Yeah, and I'd always find myself like almost having, if I was out and I didn't show that I was out, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I didn't even post that I was out.
Yeah, exactly. So
Like,
then,
and when in reality, I still had like a good time. Like, I still had a sick time, but then I'm annoyed at myself for not showing that, or I didn't take a photo, or
yeah,
we didn't get photos together. Like, sometimes, to be honest, even without social media, sometimes I do think like, oh, we should have taken a photo together or something like that. But that's more
yeah,
for personal memories,
yeah, it's true.
rather
And
than showing
do you know actually,
everyone
me and
else.
you, we don't really have any pictures together. Well, barely we do.
Yeah. Like, I
Maybe,
reckon one of the last photos we had,
yeah.
do you know what one it is?
Nah, which
The
one?
Brighton Beach one.
What?
I think that might be one of the last ones we've
Yeah.
had.
Bro, that how
I
many
can't
years was
think of.
that?
Yeah, that's so long ago.
Like
That was a
two,
banging
3 years?
photo.
Yeah, it's a bit. Oh no, that picture, yeah. That was at least 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 3, 4 years ago, yeah. Yeah, that was sick. But no, it's true though, because it's not like you want to do it, it's like you just forget, right? Because you're like so happy in the moment, or
Mm.
you're just fully present in that moment that you just don't really, that doesn't come into your mind that you have to like take a
Yeah.
picture or anything like
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Yeah, and like maybe that's. Oh, damn.
Damn, okay.
That was a big pothole.
Did it affect the bottom or anything?
No,
Nothing.
no, we should be good.
No, we're just saying like about like pictures and
Oh
staying
yeah, so I was
present,
saying like
because
maybe that's on us then to like make a conscious. If we do want more
yeah,
photos, then we can, I suppose, make more of a conscious effort to try and do that. But
yeah,
I think it's not like a necessity. You know what I mean? Like, even
yeah,
today, like
yeah,
when we went to the pub, that's not crossed my mind at all. That, oh, we need to take a photo, and I was
yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
fine with that.
Nah, exactly. Absolutely. And actually, so like just staying on the fear of missing out topic,
Mm.
I think
I'm not gonna drop
sometimes, especially from my point of view, is me wanting to do something shouldn't be because someone else is doing something and I
Yeah.
should be doing that.
Yeah, or
It's
trying to show someone else that you're, or not
ex-
even just someone in particular, but or just trying to show people
that you're
that you're doing something. Like,
exactly,
yeah, because
because
sometimes that's more of an
status.
unconscious thing as well.
Yeah, but it's to drive status though, low
Mm.
key. Like you don't want to admit it, but like it
Yeah,
deep
maybe not
down,
unconscious, but like it's like a yeah, it's a thing that you don't really want to necessarily admit to yourself that
Yeah,
why am I really doing this, or why
it's
am
kind of
I,
vain, right? Like you don't
yeah.
want to be, you
Mm.
don't want to actually confront that real emotion.
Because sometimes I think like I wonder how many people do stuff because they are thinking about, oh yeah, that would look really cool, like to do that, or
Yeah,
that would be so good for. I mean, you hear it all the time, like, oh yeah, like that would be good for the gram, like when we go here
yeah,
or when we
exactly.
go
Yeah,
there or whatever, like.
honestly. And I was watching this TV show, and I know these guys are already influencers, but like basically the first thing they said is like, oh, I want to make sure we go to these spots for the gram. And I'm not saying that's a
Mm.
bad thing, right? I think taking pictures is fine, but like, I think when it becomes the sole purpose
Mm.
or like the key intention to go somewhere or to do something, it kind of takes away from the actual value of why you're doing it or where you're going or the
Mm.
actual reason you should be present. Like, it should never be, the primary focus should never be on doing it for someone else's approval of
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Right, that's where it gets. You should be up like
And that's why again, like,
comfortable with yourself.
yeah, and people like maybe don't feel like they're living a fulfilled, like happy life
Yeah,
because then they find themselves doing these things or getting in the habit of doing things because they want to post about it and stuff rather than actually delving deep into what they want to do.
yeah,
And that might be stuff that's not as cool to post about or stuff that maybe you're not as comfortable posting about,
yeah.
but you get a lot more from it.
No, no, you're right. You're actually
Mm.
right. So like then it comes to the question: how do you not become, or how do you not be lonely from social media? And is it a lonely journey? And have you thought that it might be lonely when you
But when you come off of it,
yeah, when you come off of it?
mm.
Because I know for someone that, let's say, they've probably grown up their whole life with social media,
Mm.
right? So that's all they kind of know, and they want to stop using it mainly because probably the two most the common factors are they feel like they're mindlessly scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to make a change and improvement in their life.
Mm.
And then the second one would be maybe it's like something to do with mental health issues. I don't know, right?
Mm.
It could be one of them, right? But essentially they want to get off it because they want to change something in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and they believe social media or taking away social media helps with that.
Yeah.
But the fear becomes, if I'm off social media, I've got no access to anyone now, none of my friends.
Mm.
Am I going to be lonely? And I don't want to be lonely because it's kind of scary that just being by myself.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, if you're looking at it like that, then I suppose, like, first of all, you could plan then how. Well, right. Well, how if I'm coming off social media, then naturally you're going to have a lot more time, and maybe even surprisingly, you're going to have a lot more time because then you'll start to realize maybe how much you are on social media. Because that's the first thing I noticed is like, wow, like how much more time I have, and even just the little moments in between, like doing things.
Yeah.
So like when you get straight back home from work, yeah, like stuff like that. When in between maybe a task that you need to do, or like maybe just before you go to work, anything like that.
Yeah.
You notice how much more free time you have. So then it's like, right, well, what would I maybe want to do in that free time and so on. And it could be that you want to, yeah, that's when you want to maybe talk to your friends or make time to schedule calls with your friends or text your friends or stuff like that, rather than maybe using that time on social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's filling that void. You know, that's what we always talk about. Like, when you get off social media, you need to know that you're going to have so much free time, just like you just said.
Yeah, and you'll maybe be, because I guess when you're bored, you turn to social media or you turn to your phone
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's, yeah, figuring out what you want to do with that boredom and how to,
And
yeah, and what to
personally,
do.
my go-to and my saying is, because social media is a tool where you're basically consuming, right? It's a tool for consumption. You're taking in. The app is designed for you to stay on it as long as possible and as frequent as possible. Meaning that you need to be consuming content from other people or whatever, just because you want to be able to be fixated on that app, right? That's what they want. They want your time and attention, essentially, because they can, once they've got your time and attention, they can start to sell you things through adverts, and that's how they make money. It's a free tool, but you are the product.
Yeah.
Now,
if it's free, then you're
the product.
Yeah, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Exactly
That's
that. And if you identify this and you want to, maybe take a break from social media itself, perhaps you want to just go off for long term. I don't know. Maybe you've got your underlying reason. Everyone has each to their own. But the key point is to fill that void. And to fill the void, that what I found, and actually I can see it in yourself because it just makes sense. It's a common theme.
Yeah.
It's simply to do something. So, AKA to be a producer of something. So for me, I've managed to fill that void simply by making more YouTube videos. I can focus my efforts on producing content for this channel. And a lot of people...
you definitely wouldn't have been able to make the amount of videos if you were on social media still.
I don't think so, exactly. Or someone could argue that, but with, let's say, like Instagram or TikTok, you can start making reels or whatever. Yeah, I guess so, but that's me producing things, right? Same way that I use YouTube. I don't really use it to consume. Yeah, I watch YouTube videos, of course. But my primary focus on YouTube is literally to produce as much content as possible for you. And just to really, engage in this community. But that's that. But let's say for you, for example, you've got your own business. You've got time and effort that you have to put into work, put into relationships. Even you having coming down to see me today, right? That's like, it's producing, it's doing something, it's being actionable rather than consuming things. So that's the key.
It's doing something that I enjoy, because I suppose like maybe, and to be honest, maybe I still would have reached out, but then maybe I wouldn't have even thought to have reached out to see if you were free tonight or.
Because you said to me that if you were bored, you would just go on social media, right?
So maybe I just would have spent the night just kind of doing nothing, really.
Perhaps, yeah. Exactly. And
sometimes nothing wrong with that, but then if you find yourself doing that often, then yes, and then that's maybe when
that becomes a bit.
An issue.
Perhaps when you're off social media, what I'm trying to say is, you realize that because you've got so much time, you need to make sure you utilize that time, because if you don't, then you're going to feel lonely.
Yeah,
and then you're going to feel bored, right? That's where you find the loneliness.
And that's when you'll want to fill that time in again, because you feel bored or you feel lonely and so on. So then that's when maybe people turn back to social media, because they're distracting themselves essentially, or filling that void again of like, right, I'm going to have a lot more time now without social media. And if you have a plan in place, then you're going to feel more fulfilled, right? You're going to be happy with what you're doing with your spare time.
Yeah, and then fundamentally, you're just not going to be bored. It's that simple. You've just got to find something that you're willing to replace that additional time with.
Yeah, or something, that is productive for you or more meaningful to you, rather than maybe being on social media.
Essentially, if you really think about it from a logical standpoint, you have a certain number of hours every single day, let's say 16 hours, and 8 of those hours you sleep, right? You've got 16 hours a day, you times that by 7, you got to split that amount of hours. I can't do the math off the top of my head that quickly, but if you go that way.
Yeah.
But essentially, you have that amount of hours, it's fixed. You can't get more, you can only get less. It depends on what you allocate your time to. So if I'm just ballparking here, let's say you roughly spend 10 hours a week. I don't even know if it's realistic. It could be a lot more, it could be maybe less. But 10 hours a week on social media alone, depending on your screen time. That is literally 10 hours. Do you need to spend that 10 hours, or how would you want to spend that 10 hours?
Yeah, I think 10 hours is a fair number, to be honest. Because if you think like just over an hour a day, that probably takes you to 10 hours. So I think some people might be more.
Exactly. So just finding that like, I don't know, it's that fuel, or like, what's driving you to change it, and what would you want to change it to? I think that's that. But then, okay, let's dive into, let's say you do find that, that thing that you want to do. For me, it's YouTube. For you, it's your own businesses. How then, so do you get bored? Or not bored, but do you get lonely from that progress, or that kind of road?
I wouldn't say I get lonely. Sometimes I guess I get bored or frustrated, or I wouldn't say I get lonely. Sometimes I might get frustrated, or just like, oh, it's just same old, but then like maybe I have to just remind myself of like the end goal of like why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because naturally, like, you are going to come through obstacles of whatever you're doing, I suppose, within your life.
I like that. You remind yourself of the end goal.
Yeah.
The reason why you quit in the first place. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And I suppose that in itself like stops you from going off track maybe. But then
Yeah,
also, yeah, in terms of the loneliness, where it's like, well, now I'm not on social media and I'm not keeping up to date with people's posts and whatever. So now, yeah, I might make more of an effort to text people or to call people or to meet up with people and so on.
yeah,
So then I do have those connections and so on with the people that I do care about. And that has been one thing as well that I have realized is, excuse me, that I was keeping up to date with so many people's lives that in reality, like, I never saw or I don't really care about. So when I have come off of it, I hasn't really been too much of a shock to the system because I've kept up to date
yeah,
with
yeah.
people that. Oh, sorry, where?
Yeah, just on the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've kept up to date with people that I care about, and that mean a lot to me. And the ones that don't, it's not that I dislike them or anything. It's just
Yeah,
a natural, I think, part of life that you kind of go out of touch with people. Maybe
yeah,
people that you think you're up to date with and so on. If you actually look back to when the last time you saw them, it's probably a lot longer than you think.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I think that's a sad reality, but it's just reality. Like,
mm,
I think, especially when we grow up, we're in school and university, whatever. A lot of people think that just because you might have a lot of friends, you are like completely like not alone. But actually,
mm,
you can have loads of friends and still be alone.
yeah,
And
no,
that's a
definitely.
bad situation to be in.
Mm,
Trust me, that's a bad situation.
mm,
It means number one, you can't depend on those people,
mm,
and it's not like they're true, meaningful relationships or friendships
mm.
at all. So it's kind of actually helped in filtering that out, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's a
really true.
tool. It's
Yeah,
a tool. It helps, and I'm happy it did actually because then I know like the people I can depend on, I can call whenever. I think that it's just a natural. It's kind of like natural selection in
yeah,
real life by using Instagram.
yeah. Mm. And I think, I don't know, like, I'm just, because I remember when I was on social media and when I was starting to think about, oh, like, shall I come off it? Shall I have a break and whatever? I remember during that time I would get frustrated with myself of like, almost just like, oh, another day's done. Feel like I haven't really done much and I'm not
Yeah,
really happy with myself. Now I'm more in the boat of like, oh, like, it felt good that I've did this amount of work or I saw this person
yeah,
um, or whatever. So I feel like I'm gaining that balance and control over my life, like,
yeah,
now that I'm off of it, to be honest.
yeah.
That's
You know
something to
what?
be honest,
That's
that isn't
true.
always something that I've noticed, but like when I do reflect back, I am so much more happier with my life and what I'm doing now I'm off of it.
Yeah. Do you
Compare, I look, I
reflect a
look,
lot?
I look.
How like
I
how
try
often would
to.
you? Yeah, how
I
often
try to.
would you say you reflect?
Uh, Jesus. I mean, I have my own personal therapy sessions.
How do you do that?
Huh?
How do you do that?
No, I have therapy sessions with someone,
Oh right,
with
okay,
my
okay.
own
Oh wow,
therapist.
that's
So
pretty
like, but
sick.
I only just do that once a month now.
Yep.
Because when I first started it, I wanted weekly to like get over and go through certain things.
Wow. Okay.
But
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
it's
That's good.
like I use it more as like an outlet to
Yeah,
reflect and so on. Yeah, an
that's
outlet
pretty
to
cool.
reflect, an outlet to kind of even vent, and just kind of go over what's happened over the month.
Perspectives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, perspective, like,
that's
yeah,
quite cool.
and process, I suppose, what's happened over the month. But when I'm like actually reflecting maybe over different times of my life, like, I don't know, to be honest. Like, it's more like sometimes when I'm with people, um, and so on. Like, I wish I maybe I need to get more into the habit of journaling more, because I think that would be a cool
Yeah,
way of like looking back at
I've kind
times
of
of your
stopped
life.
on journaling as well. Maybe I should
Yeah.
pick it up, but I do reflect quite a bit now. I
Mm.
think I've been trying to do it like literally, if I can, whenever I can, like every
When you
week.
say reflect, then like, what do you
Oh,
do?
like literally very simple. I just literally just sit for like maybe just take like I don't know 20 minutes out of my day,
Mm.
not all the time, but like let's say weekly or every few weeks
Mm.
to just like assess the situation. But I try to do it on a monthly basis now, where like I'm like, how did last month go?
Mm.
And like it could literally just be in the shower, you know.
Right.
It could
Okay.
literally just be shower thoughts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, cool. Like I'm proud that I did this
Mm.
X Y Z, but you know what? Maybe I didn't actually do this well enough, or maybe like I could have built this relationship with this person very nicely and like, you know, can network better here or just like small things really like
Yeah.
that kind of align with your future goal.
Mm.
And the more you do it, because the more you're asking questions and then like it's just
Mm.
opening.
The more aware you are of different things in your
Yeah,
life.
right.
Yeah.
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 And like you said, it's also good to get like other perspectives. So I'd always come to like yourself or
Mm.
whoever, like just ask your opinion on certain things
Yeah.
and like maybe like I might have missed something because like we all have our natural biases, right?
Mm.
So it's good to get ask your like when you have very good friends as well.
Mm.
Like it's easy to just come talk, and I think actually social media, getting off social media, it's a maybe not a direct correlation,
Mm.
but it allowed, like you said earlier, it allowed you to kind of build a stronger relationship just because you had to meet up with them or
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, and care about the relationships that mean most to me,
yeah,
and putting and having more time for that and so on. There's still friendships and so on that I wish I could see more and so on, but I suppose yeah, life does get in the way still,
yeah,
like for both for them and for me. I think yeah, still that still is natural, to still wish that you had, I suppose, more time with those people. But then again, like that's still on me to maybe make that time and
yeah,
try and make more time for people I want to be with more or something like that. But right now, I feel like I'm happy with where I'm at in
yeah.
terms of that. So yeah,
Um,
but I think yeah, it just gives you more time. It gives you more time to reflect. It gives you more time to decide what you actually want to do with your life or do with your time, not necessarily with your life, like with your
yeah.
time. Yeah,
End of the day, that's what compounds. It
yeah.
changes you as a person. It changes your life.
Mm.
But now, honestly, you will never. I don't think you will ever regret taking a break from social media.
Yeah, even just having a break and noticing the time, noticing maybe just yeah, what you want to do with your life, like you said. Like it gives you more time.
And clarity.
Yeah, and I think the biggest shock to me was it's made me realize how much I just would sit down and my automatic process was to go on my phone. And when I started noticing that was just an automatic response, that's when that it scared me a little bit, to be honest, which is why I pulled away from it and didn't want to be
Yeah,
on it anymore. But then yeah, when you start noticing that, then you start to realize that, oh, actually, I do have more time than I realize and so on. So yeah, I think you can't regret having even just a break. I'm not saying to come off of it completely,
yeah,
but just yeah, even just having a break like over the month or a couple weeks.
yeah. You
I
never know, and
think it's
it
yeah,
will change your life. But
definitely yeah.
nice one, bro.